So, Chris, fill in the blank time as we get ready for game number 1 of 272. Cowboys' biggest X factor is what?
I'm going to say a player. I'm going to go DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the biggest X factor. Hey, he's got to listen. He's the highest paid player on their defense. He's been a little underwhelming the last few years. They need, if they want to win this game, pull off an upset, he's got to win some of these one-on-one matchups, pass rushing, and get to Brady, maybe hit him to throw an interception, strip sack, fumble, whatever. To me, he's one of those guys that needs to raise his level of play a little bit, and a guy that can disrupt the game if he does get back to the 100% player we saw when he did sign the contract.
I'm going to go Connor McGovern, not Connor McGregor. Connor McGovern, the replacement for Zach Martin. Ezekiel Elliott said it himself the other day. Martin's the guy that all the runs come behind. And then Elliott didn't know off the top of his head who the backup would be. So not the most ringing endorsement for Connor McGovern. Yeah. He's the guy that's going to need to take on Vita Vea, Sue, whether it's blocking for Zeke or buying some time for Dak Prescott. McGovern's going to be a key piece with Zach Martin not there, Chris.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That is going to be the thing to watch. I mean, yeah, Zach Martin's awesome. There's no doubt he's one of the best offensive linemen in football, and now you got to block this front. You know, have fun. Everybody in football had a hard time blocking this front, and it's not easy to go into it without your best offensive lineman.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers' biggest X factor is what?
Well, I wanted to say Vita Vea. That was where I was going to go. I'm still going to go with that. I don't care, because the other answer I was going to use, I'm going to use it later on in this segment here. So, yeah, I'm going to go Vita Vea because I think he could be that guy. Of course, we always, Davis and Levante David and JPP and Shaq Barrett and Winfield, and we talk about those guys, right, so much. Vita Vea didn't play most of last year. He was a force, in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. And man, he is one of those guys. He's an X factor for the whole year. I think he's a really, really talented, unbelievably gigantic athletic man who can really disrupt. And I think he could be that guy that, we can play two safeties back because we got this big sucker in the middle. He'll stop the run game with Sue, and we don't need to take chances on the edge, with our corners one-on-one. So I'll go with Vita Vea.
I'm going with Antoine Winfield Jr. because he became the X factor last year in the postseason. Yeah. Ripping the ball out from Saints tight end Jared Cook at a time when the Saints were up by 7, driving to go up by 10 or 14 in the second half of the game. And the last we saw of Antoine Winfield Jr., it was the deuces in the face of Tyreek Hill. Don't do that tonight, Antoine. You'll get 15 yards and a fine. But I think that in year 2, I'm very excited to see how he can be even more of the X factor than he was last year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is a guy I loved coming out in the draft. He's a heat-seeking missile. I still can't believe he actually was there in the second round for Tampa Bay to take. But you're right. He is an unbelievable football player. He's got an attitude and, of course, has, advanced IQ for a guy his second year in the NFL because of his dad and his career and being around the NFL. So I'm with you, man. He's already one of my favorite guys in the secondary in all of football.
All right, the Cowboys will win this game if they what, Chris?
The Cowboys will win this game if they catch Todd Bowles being too aggressive. That would be the thing I would say. I just don't see how Tampa loses this game unless they let Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb on an island and let Dak Prescott have some chances to just go, wait, they're one-on-one. I'm going to throw a go route. I'm going to throw a back shoulder. I'm going to throw him a slant. If he breaks one tackle, he's gone. To me, that's the only way. And I just think that, Todd Bowles has got to be aware of that and be careful because this is some weaponry that they can make one play 80-yard drives, 2 play 65-yard drives with the way they can strike. So that would be the thing I would say.
I still think even if that happens, they won't win unless they get
they might not.
To
right.
Tommy. Get to Tommy. Rush him. Make him get rid of the ball before he's ready to. He's not going to take the hit. This is about making him think that the walls are closing in and get him to cough 1 or 2 or 3 up as we saw against the Packers and try to get that turnover. Try to break serve once or twice and trust your offense to match point for point the Buccaneers and steal 1 or 2 and get the edge that way. Keep it close, rattle them late, and try to pull off the victory. The Bucs will win this game if they what?
if they don't pee down their leg, okay? I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, to me, they got to mess it up. I don't think there's any, like, schematical thing I'm going to point at to go, like, oh, you know, they're at a disadvantage here. This worries me. No, I really think it's like, yes, you know, do they get a little pressure and Brady panics and throws an interception? Does somebody fumble, you know, on a kick return? That's the only way I envision the Cowboys winning this game. So as long as the Bucs play a somewhat clean football game, they will win this game for sure.
I could hear a Buccaneers player saying to you, Chris, we didn't pee down our leg. It's just swamp ass.
Just swamp ass.
Sorry,
that is another thing I'm going to be watching in the pregame. Yeah, sorry. But that could be a real thing tonight. I actually was talking to Drew Brees about that a little bit yesterday. You know, it is a real thing here in the Tampa area. This time of the year, it can get so hot, so humid that you could sometimes have a ball it's like it's raining outside. And that can affect, you know, your accuracy and where you want to put the ball. So I will be watching that. Swamp ass always strikes in Tampa. Swamp ass always strikes.
That ain't rainwater, baby.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.